What's the last thing that you do remember?
In honour of the fact that this is the Prememento Podcast, and in honour of the fact that is modelled on the Christopher Nolan film Memento, I've got here every single Premier League team, all 20 teams, and we're going to compare them to a character, an actor, or a thing in a Christopher Nolan film. I'm going to see how this goes. So, if you thought our predictions were bad, this you're going to absolutely enjoy massively. This is in alphabetical order. And have you seen all of the Nolan films? Because there's one I haven't.
I haven't seen all of them, no. I'm going to anticipate in your vigorous research for this. You've seen more than me.
No, this is the thing, because I haven't seen Interstellar, but...
Which one's... Oh, no. That's kind of the one which you think is the one with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. It is not. That's the other one.
Yeah. I've got to be honest with you, that would have really helped, because some of these are massively tenuous. But with that in mind, we'll see what we can get through. If there's any that you've missed, it actually works better for me, because you won't mock me as much. We start with Arsenal, who are very blatantly Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Inception. Or they don't know whether they're stuck in a dream or a nightmare. It's effectively just the same thing over and over again. And the spinny top at the end, that is effectively their last 4 seasons.
That's a good shout. I can't remember the scene in the film where DiCaprio lifted the FA Cup. But I'm sure it's
John Terry did somewhere.
Is it the director's cut?
Yeah. Moving on, Bournemouth, the Scarecrow in the Batman films. When you first see them, you were happy to see them, but by the end, I'm over it now. Next up, it's a bit harsh, but I'll run with it. Brighton are the little child that sings before Bane blows up the stadium in Dark Knight Rises.
I'm so full of hope and then just utterly demoralised.
What a lovely voice they have, but they're effectively about to get just battered in a very monumental way.
I do anticipate Glenn Murray has a lovely singing voice.
Exactly. Burnley are, in the Dark Knight, there's the boat conundrum, and Burnley are the big criminal fella who grabs the detonation device, and everyone thinks they're going to blow the other lot up, and does nothing. Basically, a big scary looking load of, I don't even know what, that does nothing. First cardball, Chelsea are Maggie Gyllenhaal from the second Batman film, from Dark Knight. In that, they're a much better version of Chelsea than they were before, but still, I'm not really sold on them.
Not universally loved.
Yes.
But you'll be happy if they were yours.
Yes, no, exactly, yeah. That's fine with Chelsea, yeah. This is, again, like I said, some of these get massively tenuous if you think they haven't been already. The Crystal Palace are the film Interstellar, in that probably should have been better than it is, but I don't know.
No. It's one of the films I've heard of. Is Matthew McConaughey in that?
Yes, he is, yeah.
Okay.
And he does a face reaction thing that I haven't seen, because I haven't seen the film, so... Again, top content.
Just going off on a tangent, I like McConaughey, in the sense that he came out as like a good actor, and then he made a load of crap, like rom-coms for years, and everyone was, oh, he's a washed-up loser. Even had that skit in Family Guy where, like...
Yeah.
Well, more than one, actually, they kept ripping on him. Then he kind of made like a serious comeback, like in like True Detective and all that. So everyone will say now, oh, Matthew McConaughey's a brilliant actor. He's made some shit in these last couple of years. Interstellar's probably one. And then the Dark Tower, is that coming out?
Oh yeah, that's about to, yeah, there's a lot of buzz, none of it good.
To be fair, in prediction land, that won 8 Oscars.
Yeah, exactly. Everton, and you think I'd go really harsh on Everton here, but Everton are Gary Oldman's Jim Gordon, in that, in and of itself, there's a lot of good things there, but always overshadowed by bigger, better things. And again, I have to be very careful with this next one because of spoilers, because it is as our day of record the cinemas. But effectively, this isn't so much a spoiler, just a sort of this is what you expect. Huddersfield are you might not know in the trailers, but in Dunkirk there's a little boy whose name is George, and just the idea that he is a little boy very unprepared for the war that's about to face, and that seems like Huddersfield to me.
No, it's true. They're going to get washed over fairly quick.
Yeah, exactly. Right, slightly more obscure this one. Leicester, the pencil in the Dark Knight. It's the one thing you remember, and they did a really good thing, but nothing before and nothing after. Again, this is one you may vehemently disagree with, but I think I can sum this up very easily. Liverpool are Bane out of the Dark Knight Rises. Really, really promising and really sort of menacing when they want to be, but in the end, has a terrible defence and killed by very little.
It's a good shout, actually. I'll give it that one.
Man City are Liam Neeson's character in all of the Dark Knight series, which is basically should really be the biggest, baddest of them all, has the capabilities of doing anything he wants, but ultimately still fails.
That system works.
Yeah. I could have gone really harsh on Man United, and you're probably going to say I have, but I think I've got this absolutely spot on. Man United are a very minor character in The Dark Knight, but integral to the plot. According to IMDb and various Wikipedias, his character name is Lau. He is the...
Chairman Lau.
Yeah, Chairman Lau. He is the man who controls the money for the mafia, and he flies. He flees the city of Gotham, where he can't be extradited, and Batman goes and gets him and brings him back. There is no more Mourinho thing in the world than having all the money and running away and hiding.
Well, if that would have been Marina, that would have been an entire feature film, 120 minutes of him hiding behind the wall. Now, speaking of the guy who's a small character but integral to the plot and involving money, those Game of Thrones fans, like, I don't even know his name, I just know him as Mycroft Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, head of the bank. He just turns up now and again and everyone tells him the plot. It's brilliant.
Sounds good. Next up, I was really reluctant to do this in the end, and I tried to think of a better one, but ultimately, Newcastle, who wants to watch the world burn more? Mike Ashley, everything. It's the Joker. It has to be.
Man, you're not beating Mike Ashley in a drinking contest. Though.
Yeah.
In a pub fireplace. Man, he's got that laid out.
Next up, Southampton are, and this is a good one. Southampton are Cillian Murphy's character from Inception, in that they've got something that people want to steal all the time. Basically, Jurgen Klopp is going into his dreams every night and trying to get as much as possible.
Every night ends up in Blackpool.
Stoke, Guy Pearce's character from Memento, the sort of namesake of this podcast. Basically, someone that has very little going for them, and it's only ever going to get worse.
But they started off from somewhere even worse.
Yeah. And also, doesn't make much sense. It does. Remember, it's a great film, but it takes a while to piece together. Next up, Swansea are the special effects in Inception. Great at the time, but since have faded.
Yeah.
Tottenham, Aaron Eckhart's Harvey Dent / Two-Face. Brilliant and absolutely amazing every time they're there, but overshadowed by someone else.
Eventually end up unfulfilled.
Yeah. Watford is the entire film, The Prestige. Not quite sure what's going on there, and then David Bowie pops up for no reason. Just replace that with Elton John, and that's Watford.
Man, just a lot of random foreigners.
West Brom are the Germans in Dunkirk. I don't think you see a single German on screen the entire runtime, but the threat of them is there, and when they arrive, it's very painful.
They're definitely coming in the 90th minute at the back post.
Yeah, and to wrap all this up, West Ham, Al Pacino in the film Insomnia, and I was very tempted to call certain teams Insomnia, but I left that well alone. It's a sense of, could argue Al Pacino's last great role. I really don't know his IMDb that well, but effectively someone who used to have a thing, high profile, it's going very badly wrong afterwards, and you keep hearing about them.
He was definitely around when we won the World Cup.
That, I believe, brings it to a close. And you keep hearing about them.
He was definitely around when we won the World Cup.
That, I believe, brings it to a close.